Thanks for checking out Chamber Web TV. This is Cambridge Votes 2014, a conversation with the candidates for the upcoming October 27th municipal election. And I'm Greg DeRocher, President and CEO of the Cambridge Chamber of Commerce. And it's my pleasure to sit down with the Mayor of Cambridge and candidate for this October 27th municipal election, Doug Craig.
Oh,
Doug,
well, it's good to be here.
how are you?
Well, I'm doing very well.
You
I've
look
been
wonderful.
here before. Well, I'm fine. You know, just life's good. My dog doesn't wake me up too early in the morning anymore. These are the good things in life you count on, you know.
Well, what was too early in the morning? Because I think
Well,
you've called me for...
5:30 in the morning.
Oh, because
Milo.
you've called me for breakfast at 7 o'clock in the morning,
That's
so
true.
I don't know how much earlier you'd want.
Well, I got Milo, the 9-pound Chihuahua that wakes us up at 5 o'clock sometimes. Anyways, here we are in the room.
Doug, this is probably not a question you're probably not, going to have too much trouble answering, but some might say, why are you running?
Why am I running? It's one of the things I did when I first got into office is I looked back at all the other mayors. I looked at their strengths, and also, I thought reflectively about what they gave to a community. And each one of them, if you go through, has a certain flavor and lays a certain foundation. And I think it's all about foundation building. Finishing off that layer, and that's what I'm going to do. I got one more layer to finish off here in terms of GO Train, which we've been working on for quite a while, as an example. The East Side Bypass, which we've been working on. The Old Galt Post Office, to make sure that people really understand why and what's happening there. So these are the kinds of things that I think are important to the community.
So the job's not done. The
job's not done.
Craig's job's not done.
And then, and I'm seeing a horizon there with the stop sign, so we'll leave it at Carl Kiefer's holding the stop sign. To be frank. Well, Frank Montero's looking at it too.
That's funny. But it's almost like the honey-do list, it never seems to run out, but you've stopped honey from putting anything more on the honey-do list.
I think that those are major things we need to deal with. The infrastructure issues. This city is in good shape. I don't care what anybody wants to say about it. We have one of the lowest debts, which is good and bad. We manage the city with a lot less personnel than most cities our size. We're coming into sustainability with our water and sewer in in about 7 years. We'll be the first in Ontario. There's good things happening. I want to finish that off. I want to make sure it happens and hand it off to the next person.
Excellent. What's the number one issue you see facing Cambridge and other municipalities in Ontario?
Well, I think infrastructure and funding for municipalities. If you're looking at Cambridge in particular, you're looking at transportation. I'm talking about the 401. Just right now, coming into the chamber, it's backed up again. And we have to get GO Train service to the Milton Union Station, and we have to get deal with the congestion in our community with regards to neighborhoods, truck traffic in the downtowns, and by having a bypass. So infrastructure becomes the major issue. And predicated on that, of course, is access to more funding that municipality from the upper tiers that will give us more room to actually do the things we have to do, which people expect of us.
Let's talk about a couple of those things. The GO Train and the LRT, for example. The plan now in Cambridge, of course, is to kind of synchronize where that might go. And the Chamber of Commerce, of course, we were opposed to LRT for different reasons. We didn't think it was the right technology at the right time, and more importantly, we didn't see it ever coming to Cambridge, and so we didn't want to have to pay for it. But that's just my opportunity to keep reminding people that I'm still a little irritated with that decision. However, democracy prevailed. We're getting it, and we're going to pay for it, and that's all there is.
We're not getting it. They're getting it.
Well,
we're paying for it.
But we do have a premier who has a majority government. We have a member of that government here in our riding.
Right.
Both of them have said there may be an opportunity to speed up getting the LRT to Cambridge. What would we need to do in order to make that happen?
Let's be very frank about this in terms of when you bring an LRT into a community. And Kitchener-Waterloo, now, when this thing arrives in 2017, they don't have the ridership. 20 years from now, they will barely have the ridership. Cambridge doesn't have the ridership and won't have it for the foreseeable future, far into the future. Do I, as a mayor, now start to pay for a system that is unwarranted? We can't do that. So I think we have to refocus
So
the
you want to
traffic.
say to the provincial government, hey, don't give us the LRT, give us monies for
Well,
other things. that
Give
are
us
important.
monies for GO Train and make that a certainty in the next 4 years. We have the documents prepared by consultants, by the region, by ourselves, that clearly indicate that there's irrefutable evidence that Cambridge qualifies for GO Train. That's for sure. So I want GO Train in here. I want money from the region. The whole argument of the region was if you put an LRT in, you need less road construction. Well, that's great in Kitchener-Waterloo, but we need the road construction. I'm going to be asking the region to put us back on the priority list on the table because LRT has consumed everything for the last 4 years. I want Cambridge on the table in terms of the road bypass around us.
Good. I think we need that bypass.
We do.
We certainly do need it from the east side.
Well, that's where we're coming. We're talking coming down town line, somewhere in the Sheltered Road area, down to below Dundas and paralleling Myers over to 20.
So that'll get the truck traffic out of downtown Gulf.
And it'll take a lot of traffic off our streets. Hespeler Road and Franklin, that sort of thing. We need to deal with that.
Yeah.
I know that. I know the planning documents, the EAs have been done for 2 out of the 3 phases. The 3rd phase is being done next year. It's a matter of accelerating the construction phase.
That might make that east side road, that might make roundabouts on Franklin a little more palatable too.
Well, I
There'd be
think
less
so.
traffic,
The problem with the roundabouts is not so much that they're ineffective. Pardon me. It's change. People don't like change. I understand that. I had suggested to the region 4 years ago, do the 3 at the top, and then let's see how the public reacts to them. Because they're 3-lane roundabouts,
Yeah.
okay? That's going to be more difficult. And let's quietly move people into this acceptance of roundabouts and then start putting the rest in. Of course, they balked at that. They wanted to do them all at once. There's going to be 11 roundabouts on the front page of the Record. On our paper, people are scared. And they scared everybody. Now we've come back. We've managed to negotiate the roundabouts at St. Benedict's and at Canamere out. They're going to remain lights, okay? And the rest are going to go in phases. So we got some wins out of this. And we need to press on because Franklin needs to be done. In order for the bypass to work, you need Franklin ready to connect in.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's part of where we're heading.
Yeah, no, that's good. Economic development, as you know, is really, really important to the Cambridge Chamber of Commerce and to businesses for that matter. And I suspect it's important to Doug Craig as well and to the municipality. Right now, we're undergoing a review, largely because of some anxiety around we shouldn't have lost Maple Leaf, and we probably should have got Dr. Oetker into this region. And the situations there was not in the control of the local municipalities. You tried very hard.
We worked with the regional community. When I talk about, I'm talking small R, the other municipalities. We have 110 acres at Boxwood, and we worked with the region to say, look, we're prepared to re-look at Boxwood, our industrial subdivision, to allow Maple Leaf to come in. And that was on the table. But there were other politics being played outside this region that drew Maple Leaf out. That's the real reason. Leave it at that. I think it's unfortunate. Now, we've got the Boxwood up and running. We have a major aeronautical company coming in that's being built. Anybody driving along Maple Grove will see this 200,000 square foot structure going up. That's for building landing gears for 777s, which is fabulous. We have an agreement on the east side lands and the future development there. That took us 3 years to get that in place, and we are now a member of that controversial development corporation, of which and I think it's being confused out there. The region isn't running it. All the lower tier municipalities and the region as an equal partner are going to be running it. That's how it's being set up. And the idea is that we work together in the region to sort out different companies and businesses that are coming, and the economic development and the economic departments of our community will continue to work at full throttle like it always has. So that will always be in place. Plus, if we're dissatisfied with it, feel it's not working to our benefit, we can pull out.
Well, there is a little bit of an anxiety around that.
Of course there is.
There's
You
a
looked
lot
anxious for quite a while there.
Yeah, you read me too well.
Yeah.
We've known each other too long, maybe. No, but some businesses are even fearful of that. There's some businesses that are more interested in industry and saying, you know, if we're in the basket with the other regional partners, you know, Cambridge's little industrial core here isn't going to get the attention that the high tech is going to get.
Well, if it's not, then we're going to pull out. I mean, the point is, I'm going to make it very clear. There's got to be a new dawning of an age here where all three municipalities are treated equally. This region, unfortunately, is always perceived by Queen's Park, by the Toronto media, and by the local northern media as a KW region. It's not. And that is the message we're getting across. I think having Catherine McGarry down here is going to help that message get out. I think other things, people in the business community, we control the planning in our municipality. We control who can come in and who can stay out, essentially. And if we don't agree with something, then we don't have to agree with the planning changes. So we have a lot of control still. And one of the things I did as we went along was I want to be an equal partner. I don't want to be absorbed. People as a community don't want to be absorbed. And we went to great lengths to make sure that didn't happen.
Excellent.
You feeling better?
And a little bit.
Yeah.
Number one issue on the boardroom table around the Chamber of Commerce is a convention center.
Yeah. Totally agree.
We're certainly not sitting back saying that the municipality needs to step up and build a convention center. I think that's certainly the wrong way to go. We need to find a way to inspire private development to come in here and build us a convention center.
It's my understanding that there is an assembly going on right now. Okay, and that assembly is going to be maybe released in about a year's time in terms of discussion, and the municipality will be there to help with that discussion and to help mobilize the issue in terms of moving forward.
Yeah, I think you know, in conversation with the your CAO, he's very excited about that opportunity coming forward, and I think we're going to see something. And,
well, you know, there's been a nice change, not a nice change, but let me put it this way: it's something we've done, and we're trying to do better all the time. We do listen. I do listen to people. It's like overnight parking. We listened and said, yeah, let's try this. It's working now. People like that. We're going to stay with that kind of policy. But other kinds of things, we do listen. We may not always agree with you, but we listen. And we take the time, and we take everything seriously.
I like the overnight parking.
I know. That's why
I just had my driveway redone, and I had to park on the street for 7 days.
Yeah, darn, we missed you, eh? Anyways.
I really appreciate it. You know what? The cause and effect of taxes, you know, the real problem is a revenue issue for municipalities today.
Yeah.
We have infrastructure deficits in every municipality across Ontario, maybe across the country. Fact of the matter is the gas tax years and years ago when you and I were young was for road construction. Now it's general revenues for both the federal and provincial governments. What are your ideas about trying to find new methods of revenue avenues for municipalities?
Municipalities have got to come up, I really have to, together, I'm talking mayors, have got to come together more as leaders in Ontario. We're not a level of government, we're an order of government. We don't exist in the Constitution. And I think what is necessary is to have a dialogue with the federal and provincial governments and to point out to them that if you really want to have a robust economy, if you really want to see more jobs being created, then you have got to give municipalities more funding to support our initiatives. We're at the bottom level. We know what's going on. When we build a sports complex, a convention complex, the bulk of that taxes goes to the provincial and federal government. Give us the room, give us the powers, give us more access to income tax and sales tax. I'm not suggesting raise it. I'm saying just give us access
to,
and allow us to do what we do best, which is creating the conditions for business and for employment.
That's excellent. Very good. The international airport is a really interesting discussion. I went to the open houses. There was 4 options. I love our airport. I use it as often as I possibly can. I don't even mind changing planes in Chicago because Chicago's got a great airport. Once you know your way around there, you can the food there.
You do a lot of conventions. That's what I understand.
Your worship, you would really like to come with me sometime because some of the burgers you can get in there are just unbelievable, out of this world. Anyway, our airport is an important tool in economic growth and prosperity for our region of Waterloo. There's no question. And where I sit on the advisory committee, we're working hard to get that new access into Ottawa at some point soon, I hope. But I really believe, and we really believe, that that airport needs to have some attention to it from the perspective of long-term growth. There were 4 options given. One was do nothing. Option 2 was do nothing but paint the outside of the building. Option 3 was to start engaging the private sector and investing in real estate opportunities around the airport that can drive revenue to the airport so that we can wean the taxpayer off of having to support the airport and build the airport out from a private perspective. Regional Council decided to put it all on hold. Hang on, no, let's not do anything. Let's not think big and bold, let's just put it on hold.
Are you talking the official plan issues that have come out? Is that part of this?
No, I'm talking, surrounding
extent?
the airport. What I'm suggesting is, rather than put it on hold, is because the real issues were around it, well, where are you gonna get the private funding? You know, we don't want any more taxpayer support. Why wouldn't Regional Council have looked at that and said, look, come on back with a plan on how you're gonna find that money, because you're not getting any more from us. And by the way, how fast are you gonna be reducing the amount of regional tax support?
Yeah. I think one of the things, we can look at what's happening up there. The east side lands are certainly going to be a precursor to things happening, and we've got that in place when it starts to develop. GO train station in Breslau, I think, is a key ingredient. I mean, the GO train station downtown Kitchener, if you want to wait 2 hours and 5 minutes to get to Union Station, but even in Breslau, where you could park and ride from there, so when people are coming from Toronto or whatever it may be, things like that, we've got to build this kind of climate of progress.
Yeah.
And that's not happening out there. And I agree with you about a number, not often I always agree with you, a number of the things you're saying.
Well, we got a real jewel out there with our airport.
I agree.
And I'm so happy that it's now owned by us.
Yes, it
in
is.
the region.
That's great.
And I think the management out there are doing a pretty reasonable job at trying to do. In fact, I got a report today that said loads are way up.
They
It's
are.
booming
That's a
out
report. That's correct.
there. So I
That's
just,
good for local business. No
Yeah,
question.
and I really think maybe not a mistake, and maybe it was pending the election. I don't know, but I think Regional Council needs to not put that on hold, but go to the airport
Well-
and say, let's build a better plan. Let's make sure you got the plan.
Going to be a major change on regional council in this fall election. There's a number of races in Kitchener, and of course there is down here. There is up in Waterloo. There's 4 people.
4 non-returning mayors?
Yeah, right. Is that, you didn't include me, did you?
No, there's 4 retiring mayors.
Just kidding, yeah. But there's going to be a major change, and I think with that will come a major change in attitude. And
You think so? Do you really
Yeah,
think so?
Well, only if you sort of poke it a bit, okay?
I'll poke it.
Okay.
You can trust me to poke it. I will be poking it. Where do you see Cambridge in 25 years?
Well, I probably won't be here. I'm just trying to be very realistic here.
You'll be.
Anyways, I'll be. Cambridge is its presence on the 401 is one of the key ingredients that makes us who we are and gives us prominence in the region. The river system running through it, from Hespeler, from the Mill Pond down through Riverside Park, down to the downtown, is something that draws the community together and demonstrates to the rest of the region a quality of life that they can't rival. Okay, we sit here on one of the most beautiful urban landscapes in Ontario. What we need to do is to continue to bring people back to the river, build around the river, and to enhance the recreational qualities of our communities, from sportsplexes to trail systems to access to walking trails, as simple as that. I see us in the future really as being a prominent municipality. Probably they will have come to the conclusion that smaller municipalities are fiscally more responsible than large regions, and I would see us having more power and control over what things we would like to have, and certainly with a thriving downtowns that still keep us small town.
Yep.
Because the 3 downtowns keep us small town. And our emphasis on the heritage of the community showing up where nobody else has done that, and our emphasis on the environmental issues. I think that encompasses everything that Cambridge is all about.
Yeah. I'm really excited about this election, Your Worship, and
I'm glad you are.
well, one of the reasons is because I don't have to worry about an election, and it's nice to be
Right.
on this side of the table. However, I'm more excited because I'm going to be able to vote in my pajamas.
That's good.
I am actually going to have my wife, Lisa's going to take a picture of me on October the 11th in my pajamas voting online.
Okay.
I think the internet's over 25 years old. It's the 21st century. You do your banking online. You can do investment
Correct.
banking online. Why can't we vote online?
Well, you can.
I know. Where?
Well, what do you mean where? At
Only
home.
in Cambridge.
Well, yeah, in this region. There are other places that are actually doing it.
This is the most
Yeah.
technologically advanced
It
municipality
will
in the
help
region.
people who are disabled, as an example.
Yeah,
People that, young people who don't know any other kind of contact, except going online in certain situations, will find this more familiar and easier to do. So we really are reaching out, saying we're trying our best to bring you back in to municipal politics, understanding it, making it easier for you to vote, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think it's really exciting and it's
I do.
fantastic. And I have to say, you know, if you can't, in fact, I did say it. I said, if you can't give credit to Cambridge Council for anything in the last 4 years, at least you got to give them credit for the fact that we can vote online. Good gosh.
I can think of 100 other things.
I
Go
can
ahead.
too, but I can think of a lot of things too. Your Worship, anything else you want to say to the voters?
No,
of this
it's always a pleasure, and you know, it's kind of a nicer environment to come in like this, to be able to discuss things, as opposed to setting up debates where it becomes more an arena of criticism back and forth, which doesn't take us anywhere. So I really appreciate the Chamber's efforts in a positive way to constructively help people understand who we are, what we're all about, where we want to go.
Terrific.
Okay.
Well, there you have it, folks. Thanks again for stopping by Chamber Web TV. This is Cambridge Votes 2014. Conversation with the candidates for the October 27th municipal election. Again, I'm Greg DeRocher, and it's been wonderful to sit down with the mayor and candidate for mayor, Doug Craig.
Yeah,
Doug,
thank you very much.
all the
Okay.
best.
Thank you.